The tragedy of a little girl losing her mother is a heartbreaking tale that strikes at the very core of our emotions. In the tender years of childhood, a mother's love and presence are indispensable, providing a sense of security, guidance, and warmth. To witness a young girl robbed of such an essential figure is a profound sorrow that resonates with deep empathy. The loss leaves a void that cannot be easily filled. The absence of a mother's touch, her soothing voice, and her unwavering support leaves the child adrift in a sea of emotions. Grief consumes her as waves of sadness crash upon her fragile heart. In her innocence, she struggles to comprehend the finality of death and grapples with the overwhelming weight of loss. In this devastating circumstance, the little girl's world is forever altered. Her path forward becomes a daunting journey, filled with unanswered questions and unspoken longing. She seeks solace in memories, clinging to the remnants of her mother's love that linger in her heart. Yet, even in the darkest of moments, there remains a glimmer of hope. The love and care bestowed upon the little girl need not be lost entirely. The legacy of her mother lives on, carried forward in the lessons she imparted, the values she instilled, and the indomitable spirit she possessed. Through the support of loved ones and the passage of time, the little girl learns to navigate the intricate labyrinth of grief. She discovers her own resilience, drawing strength from the enduring love she shared with her mother. In honoring her memory, she finds a sense of purpose, transforming her pain into a driving force for compassion and empathy. Although the wound of losing a mother may never fully heal, the little girl's spirit perseveres, carrying her forward with determination and resilience. She becomes a testament to the enduring power of love, reminding us all of the fragility and preciousness of life's most treasured relationships. But before we dive into today's story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Join our growing community of adventure seekers, nature lovers, and curious minds, and be the first to experience the magic of every new episode. A child sent letters to her mother, thinking that she was in heaven, pleading with her to save her from her nasty aunt. She sobbed one day after seeing a nice message from her mom in the mailbox. Carl Newman was going about his routine of gathering and delivering mail. He had a lot to give on that special day. Because another mailman was sick, Newman was sent to a different region for 2 weeks. This is when he came upon Hannah's residence. He looked in the mailbox outside her home and found nothing. He groaned and left to deliver packages to his neighbors. He passed the home with the empty mailbox on his way back, but this time he observed a small girl placing something inside and weeping. "Oh, my kid, what's wrong with you?" he yelled as he rushed up to her. But the girl hurried inside, sobbing, oblivious to the approaching postman. When Newman opened the mailbox, he saw a letter addressed to Mommy in Heaven. The postman accepted the letter, only to cry after reading it. As soon as Newman received and opened his mailbox, he saw a letter addressed to Mommy in Heaven. "I truly miss you, Mommy. My Aunt Mary isn't baking my favorite apple pie this time. Please read the first line. She forbids me from playing with Charlotte's dolls, and she expects me to sweep the floor." Hannah's mother, Annalie, died in a vehicle accident when she was 5 years old. Hannah's parents split when she was a baby, so she was born and raised under her mother's care. Oh my God, that is incorrect information. I'm her aunt, and she's happy here. She is just like my daughter. I'm her mom. Hannah's sensitive shoulders were strained by Amelie's death a year ago. Amelie's elder sister, Mary, brought her home and assumed exclusive care of Hannah shortly after. Everything was okay until a few months ago, when Mary began to unload her childhood emotions on her little niece. "Your mother took all that affection from me," she said to the youngster. "Wait till you see what I have in store for you." Hannah's mother passed away a year ago. Mary and Amelie were both treasured by their parents. Mary, on the other hand, was constantly envious of her younger sister. Amelie was always well-educated and well-behaved. Mary loathed her sister as a child, believing she took everyone's attention. But Amelie was completely innocent, People loved being around her because she was gentle and loving. When Annalie passed, Mary was heartbroken for her little daughter. But day by day, she fueled her anger for her late younger sister by exploiting the little girl's vulnerability. Mary took out her rage on Hannah. Hannah attended kindergarten until the previous year. She was not sent to school once her aunt moved in. No one noticed the awful things Mary did to her sad niece, since Amelie's residence was not in a close-knit area. Hannah was not permitted to play with Charlotte, Mary's 8-year-old daughter's toys. She was permitted to eat last and was forced to eat on the floor. The child had no idea her aunt was venting her rage on her. She obeyed and wished for a happy childhood. But she was subjected to fresh traumas every day, and a traumatic event inspired her to send her first letter to her late mother. Mary said one day that she would braid Hannah's long hair. Mary was irritated because the tiny girl's lovely locks resembled those of her mother. "I've always despised your mother's long hair," Mary smiled. "Oh, how I wish I could simply chop them off while she was sleeping." Mary snipped Hannah's gorgeous hair and broke out laughing. "Let your mother watch from above and grieve," she said. The small child sobbed uncontrollably. She adored her lovely hair, which bounced like waves on her shoulders. She went to complain to her mom at this time. She snuck into Charlotte's room, stealing envelopes, documents, and a pencil. She then went under her bed and started writing to her mother. Every day, Newman eagerly awaited the arrival of a letter from Hannah. She wrote everything about her aunt and wanted some help from her mom. When Newman read a letter, he was moved to tears, and he resolved to find a method to console the little girl. When Hannah came the following day to check the mailbox, she was shocked to discover a note addressed to her. To Hannah, "My little Hannah, everyone has difficulties, but you should be aware of one fact. I'm always at your side, and you're never alone. When God removes someone from our lives, He always sends an angel to us. Please be cheerful. Mommy, with love." Hannah was taken aback when tears of excitement streamed down her cheeks. She dashed inside and put the note under her bed. She then glanced around, figuring her mother was nearby. She opened the windows and looked for angels outdoors. Despite the fact that she discovered nothing, she was overjoyed and comforted after hearing from her late mother in heaven. Her aunt's pranks, however, did not stop. Hannah begged her mother to take her away from Mary in despair. The next day, Newman discovered another note in the mailbox. "You stated you were with me, but I can't see you," the letter said. "Please remove me from Aunt Mary. I dislike her because she always yells at me. I told her I was hungry, and she confined me in my room for the whole night without providing me with anything to eat." Newman was enraged. "This has to stop," he cried, calling child services right away. The authorities raced to Hannah's residence for an investigation based on the facts he supplied and the letters. After receiving Hannah's letter, Newman was devastated. "Oh my God. That is incorrect information. I'm her aunt, and she's happy here," Mary shouted as a child services worker suddenly came up at her door. "She is just like my daughter. I'm her mom." But when one of the cops pulled Hannah away for a private conversation, she cried and revealed everything. "And she makes me eat supper on the floor. She chopped my long hair," wailed the girl. However, Newman had already addressed the local court and started the process of formally adopting Hannah. When the court questioned him about why he wanted to take the youngster under his wing, he revealed a heartbreaking fact. "My wife and I have been married for 11 years but have no children," he said. "We were hoping for a miracle. To me, this small boy is that miracle." Soon later, Mary was brought to court for the adoption of Hannah. She finally agreed to give up her niece. She had to pay a large fine and faced penalties once the abuse claims against her were substantiated. Newman and his wife were overjoyed when they were able to take Hannah with them. The girl finally grinned and ran off in independence after a long time. "Can I play with those dolls?" Mrs. Newman inquired after noticing a big shelf heaped high with plush toys and dolls. "Of course, sweetie. Those are meant for you," she stated. Hannah's eyes sparkled as though she had returned to her childhood days with her mother, Emily. She had two loving parents who were willing to go to any length to see that wonderful grin on her face. The following day, when Newman saw Hannah putting a note in the mailbox outside their home, he ran inside, laughing. He pulled it out and read it because he was curious. "Mommy, you say God only sends us one angel, but I received two. I adore them. Please notify God that I thanked him. I adore you." Newman was moved. In his heart, he heard wonderful music. "I love you too," he said, tears streaming down his cheeks.